60 seconds.
Wide Ocean Big Jacket is a slice-of-life adventure game set in the woods. You play as 4 people, 2 teens and 2 adults accompanied by their glowing skeletal companion, pun intended, as they venture into the wilderness to enjoy a break from modern life. Along the way you experience the characters doing, well, camping things, birdwatching, stories by the fire, and hiking to name a few. Story is king here, and a lot of time is spent reading the dialogue between the characters and the people they interact with along the way. The visuals are simple yet breathtaking, and I often found myself pausing to stare at the scenes before me and immerse in the environment. I would even go as far as to call it meditative. It's that powerful. Although the game is about 2 hours long, you're given plenty of time to feel everything happening around you. Whether it's doing cartwheels on the beach at night or listening in on challenging, mature talks, you're sure to bond with the very unique personalities of each of the main characters. The good, there's near perfect storytelling, the game chooses characters over gameplay, and there are stunning visuals and sound. The bad, there's a lot of time spent reading, and the game feels very short. Right off the bat, I want to say a big thank you to Turnfollow, who are the developers of the game. I reached out to them through Instagram and said, wow, your game looks amazing. Can I play it? And they were super kind, sent us a code, and sponsored this video. It was such a thoughtfully crafted game. It didn't care about making sure that you proved yourself as a gamer. It didn't care about high skill situations. It only cared about human connections and real life stories, real life moments. You know, the main thing about this game is absolutely the story. So many games nowadays, or consoles or developers, focus on how epic they can make their graphics, how ridiculous 4K, 8K, all these different hardware specifications that sound really cool, but at the end of the day, if your game doesn't have a connective story, who really cares? The audience isn't going to remember it more than a decade. Like, this has the elements of a timeless game. It tells a story, even if it's really brief. I found the game to be pretty short in a sense that I wanted to play more. I wanted to have more game to play, or at least to learn more about the characters. I was feeling brokenhearted that I wasn't going to be able to interact with these characters anymore, and that was the sort of bond that the game created through its storytelling and its depth. But this game doesn't need any of the graphical prowess. It's a stripped down game, very rudimentary motion, very rudimentary graphics, but it still pins down the beauty of color and scenery and nature. Being a fly on the wall when they're just around a campfire telling stories and you're reading it, it was a very cathartic experience just sitting there. I found myself genuinely connected in the moment watching these people interact and telling scary stories around the fire and feeling like, oh my gosh, this is so deep. And then balancing that fear or that intensity with like humor. One of the main characters, Mord, the teenage girl, is such a bold and crazy young girl, you know, the type that would want to become an actress or a singer or something wild like that. And all of the different characters have so much depth to them. Ben is this young kid who's insecure and he's in counseling, and his parents have kind of gone through a divorce, and he feels a lot of different things. And then you have Chloanne, who's kind of distant and artsy and into her own world and wants space from it all. Or Brad, who's very thoughtful and fatherly and taking care of all the necessities of the trip and the kids. And there's just so much to each of them, and they all come together to form this very compelling group of people. For me, I personally enjoy reading, so the aspect of the game where you're watching dialogue as it scrolls across the screen in black and white, I had a fun time getting to understand the characters through that, but I could definitely see how somebody else might see that, because there's a lot of it in this game, and get bored or disconnected because of it. I was super intrigued at how they decided to do the voices of the characters. All of the characters are voiced by synth noises, so you know, somebody might have this little kind of a noise and another one will have a little plucky sound or something very unique, but also the way that the music blended together for the different scenes and in intense moments, how it picked up and was all unified is just Very complex, but simple at the same time. If you want to purchase the game, it is available through Steam or Nintendo Switch for $7.99 USD. And I highly recommend it. So with that, thank you so much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please leave us a thumbs up. If not, leave us a thumbs down and let us know in the comments what you thought. If you played through the game yourself already, please tell us what your favorite parts were or what you enjoyed the most. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time on Bailey's Dad.